Değerli misafirler, kıymetli konuklar. Almanya Federal Cumhuriyeti tarafından finanse edilen Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Milli Eğitim Bakanlığı Hayat Boyu Öğrenme Genel Müdürlüğü öncülüğünde Alman Uluslararası İşbirliği Kurumu GIZ, Sığınmacılar ve Göçmenlerle Dayanışma Derneği SGDD işbirliğinde hayat bulacak yeni projemize başlıyor olmaktan dolayı hem çok gururlu hem de çok mutluyuz.
12 ay sürecek olan proje kapsamında Adıyaman, Denizli, Diyarbakır, İstanbul ve Tekirdağ illerinde yaklaşık 18 halk eğitim merkezinde düzenlenecek eğitimlerle 800'ü Türk, 800'ü Suriyeli olmak üzere toplam 1600 kişiye ulaşmayı hedefliyoruz.
I know that in the past you had already a cooperation agreement between GIZ and the Ministry of Education of the Republic of Turkey. It was a success. We had the opportunity to reach more than 8,000, I think, trainees.
I have the feeling that we met each other just 6 months ago when we closed the Cash for Work program, and we are now again in the second phase, or opening or proceeding further with a project that is based on Cash for Work, and it's a pleasure for me to see you all here again.
Türkiye'nin 5 farklı ilinde bu projeye başladık. Sadece il merkezlerinde de değil. İşte Milli Eğitim Bakanlığı'nın gücü, halk eğitim merkezlerimiz var. Hemen her ilçemize yayılmış durumda. İllerimizin tümünde var. Ve bu nüfusun yoğun olduğu illerimiz ve ilçelerimizde biz bu projeyi başlattık. Kaynaştırmalı bir proje Türklerle beraber. Sonuçlarının ben çok iyi olacağına inanıyorum.
Hem bütün proje arkadaşlarıma, başta protokol üyeleri olmak üzere bütün proje arkadaşlarıma ve Milli Eğitim Bakanlığı Hayat Boyu Öğrenme Genel Müdürlüğü'ne, GIZ'e ve derneğim Sığınmacılar ve Göçmenlerle Dayanışma Derneği'ne çok teşekkür ederim. Bizi dinlediğiniz için, bugün burada olduğunuz için çok mutlu olduk. Çok teşekkürler.
Hangi ülkeden gelen var? Irak. Kaç kişi Irak'tan geldi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Türkiye'den kaç kişi var? 1, 2, 3. Hazırlıkta. Başka Afganistan var mı? 1. Peki. Evet, sen nereden geldin?
Suriyeli.
Suriyeli. İsmin neydi?
Kader.
Evet. Söyle bakalım, kaçıncı sınıftasın?
Ben 8.
8'desin. Sen kaç yıldır Türkiye'desin?
5 sene.
5 senedir. Demek ki 3. sınıfta geldin. Hı? Yani ilkokul 3'te geldin. Evet. Suriye'de okuyordun herhalde, öyle mi? Peki ne olmayı düşünüyorsun nerede?
Mühendis.
Mühendis, ne mühendisi?
We would like to welcome you all on behalf of Mr. Director General Yusuf Büyük from the Ministry of National Education, Lifelong Learning General Directorate. We would also like to greet Mr. Alberto Vega from GIZ. We would like to say hello to all of the representatives from international agencies, Mr. İbrahim Vurgun, Kavlak, our General Director. We would like to welcome you all to this project closing event for the project of promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host community. I am Bahar, a project coordinator from the Association for Solidarity with Asylum Seekers and Migrants, ASAM. Because of the pandemic, we are unable to come together. Therefore, we meet in this virtual environment to close this project that we have been implementing under the PEP program. It is a program that is being implemented on behalf of the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development. The project has been implemented together with the Ministry of National Education, Lifelong Learning, General Development, and the German GIZ. The project has been supported by the PEP program, and it has been implemented on behalf of the ministry, federal ministry, together with GIZ and our association. We are here today to share the results of our project, and thank you very much for your patience in the beginning for a slight delay. So now, without further ado, I would like to give the floor to our General Director, Mr. İbrahim Kavlak, for his opening speech. Distinguished Undersecretary, General Director, representatives of the Ministry of National Education, Mr. Alberto Vega from GIZ and his team, representatives from public institutions, representatives from international institutions, agencies, I would like to welcome you all once again to this closing event of the project for promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host communities. This project has been implemented together with the Ministry of National Education, Lifelong Learning General Directorate, the GIZ, and our Association for Solidarity with Asylum Seekers and Migrants. And as you know, we have been implementing this project since 2019. And as you know, the conflict in Syria will come to a decade in 2 months. Unfortunately, there is still a lot that is going on in Syria, and there's a lot of people who have to flee their homelands. And this is the world that we are in. As our association, we have been founded in 1995, and we have been working with asylum seekers and migrants since then. And we are the first local association that has been founded in this regard in our country. We have been active for 26 years. We have 2 international representations. We have 55 offices in 31 provinces of the country, and we are providing various different services to migrants and asylum seekers. Our association, we also work to increase the social awareness about these people at the country level. And as you know, the Syrian crisis beginning in 2011 has forced a lot of people to migrate. From the first day, Turkey has had an open door policy, and we have been an example to the entire world with the services that we have been providing to these people. Today, there is 3.6 million Syrian people under temporary protection in Turkey today, and we have thousands more that are seeking asylum and migration status from Afghanistan and similar countries. We are leaving the decade back now, after all this has begun, but still we are trying to focus on issues that are further than just fundamental needs of these people. We are now looking to increase their livelihoods, create their welfare, and this is the project that we have implemented that meant to contribute to all of these objectives. We worked with our public institutions, Today we are closing this project, as we said, the project for promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host communities. But this was not just for Syrians, it was also for Turkish people, and the issue here was to be able to provide language trainings and vocational trainings for the migrants and the communities. As a result, we have been able to come together with 18 public education centers. We provided events, trainings to 804 Syrians under temporary protection, 807 Turkish citizens from vulnerable, sensitive groups. And of course, we didn't forget the gender equality access, and we gave priority to women applicants. We have also provided promotional support payment to people who have been participating in our activity at a rate which is half of the minimum wage in Turkey. We have been coming together with chambers and working together with them to increase the local labor markets, providing vocational trainings in issues such as accounting, finance, ceramics, glass technologies, textile technologies. And in the end, we provided education and trainings to 70 classes for vocational trainings and 44 classes for language classes. Yes, the global COVID-19 pandemic hit us hard at the beginning of the project, but nevertheless, we were able to provide participants with 3 months of unconditional pay. In addition, the participants of the project were given information through virtual environments, SMS messages, and the PEP Programme consultancy hotline. We also developed hygiene precautions in the public education centers so that we would be able to continue our activities. And we are now satisfied and very happy to say that we have been able to work very well with our Ministry of National Education and our partners at the GIZ to come up with all of these wonderful results. We have been able to work with intercultural communication issues, employment issues, cohesion, and we have been able to conduct 211 events. We have been able to work together with COSGAP so that we could be able to provide 144 seminars in regard to participants who would like to begin their own businesses. We also did needs analysis with reporting to follow that, giving information about the labor market at local level and what needs to be done to improve those environments and what kind of needs are needed. We worked with the Adıyaman Commerce and Industry Chamber, Adıyaman Artisans Chamber, Denizli Chamber of Commerce, Denizli Chamber of Industry, Diyarbakır Commerce and Industry Chamber, Diyarbakır Organized Industry Zone, Diyarbakır Textile Zone, Tekirdağ, and as a result, we have been able to sign protocols with 9 of these provincial and local professional chambers. We have come together with the Turkish Employment Agency and we were able to conduct events with them, so we are thankful to the provincial representatives of this agency. We did employment work with private businesses for 3 months, and there we were able to give support payment to the participants for 3 months at equal to half of minimum wage. we are now happy to say that our employees that have been placed into business through this project are continuing their work. We know that these people will be much more happier and productive once they are able to provide for themselves through employment. We are happy to say that we have been able to touch the lives of 1,654 participants and imagine the families of these people, which creates the multiplier effect that we have been looking for. We are happy to have been able to conduct all of these activities, and as in all projects, the success here, the outputs here that we have been able to come up with is, of course, as a result of the cooperation that we have been able to create with the Ministry of National Education, and we hope that this cooperation will continue. Our project design and implementation has been through all the support that we got from the ministry, but of course other partners that we had, especially the GIZ, which we have been able to come together in numerous projects, and we are thankful to them as always. Public, civil society, private sector, and international agency cooperation has been an unprecedented example in this project, and I am thankful to all the parties that contributed. Thank you for being here together, and thank you for being with us and hoping to be working with yourselves again in the future. Thank you very much, Mr. Kavlak. Now, for another opening speech, we would like to give the floor to Mr. Alberto Vega from GIZ. Sir, you.
Thank you very much, and I'm really happy to be with you. Your Excellency, Director General from DGLL, Mr. Yusuf Büyük, Mr. Head of Department, Mustafa Şahin, and also ASAM General Coordinator, Mr. İbrahim Vurgun. It's really a pleasure for me to be with you here, sharing some ideas and sharing some impressions. Distinguished colleagues from the other general departments, also representatives from PECs, as well as distinguished municipality representatives and colleagues from the international community and the private sector. It's a pleasure for me to be in this closing event, because I have to admit that this was the biggest project that we were able to support from our side, GIZ. We have around 20 partners, but this definitely was a very significant and the biggest project we could support. As my colleague Ibrahim from ASAM already said, we reached a lot of provinces, we reached a lot of public education centers, and what is more important, we reached a very significant amount also of Syrian refugees under temporary protection, as well as vulnerable people from the Turkish host community. So this project was extremely important because, and this will be, I think, today also the main topic of this event, we learned a lot. We learned a lot, and I think that this lessons learned will help us also to extract what went well and what works and what does not work. And through this learning, we will be able to replicate all the positive, I would say, procedures and capabilities that we put in place to replicate that in the future. Because our common goal is to bring people into the labor market, bring Turkish and also Syrian refugees into the labor market, because it's a burden for the country to keep them dependent on social protection. The more they are able to take their own responsibility and be self-reliant, the better. It was not an easy project because we had this and we continue to have this very difficult pandemic. So, but on the other side, we could also demonstrate through the project that we are able to be flexible. We are able to adapt to the difficult circumstances. We were even creative in terms of, for example, providing more online training events. For example, in providing also from our side, we had, as it was mentioned, in Germany we did it also. We asked our ministry, what can we do now in this particular moment through the shutdown? It is not possible to continue with the training events in some moment. It was not possible to continue with the work. So we provided unconditional cash support. We provided what we called in Germany Kurzarbeitergeld. It can be translated to short-term work allowance. And I think that was a very interesting bridge to go through the pandemic without provoking a collapse of the program. And through these instruments, through this capacity, now we stay here and we can celebrate our successes, and I think also our learning, our lessons learned, which will be very important for further engagement in the field of job creation, training, skills development, language courses, all this package which is necessary to integrate step by step the Syrian refugees into the economy. You know, what now it's a burden, in the future can be an enrichment for the economy in Turkey, and that's exactly our task, that's exactly the mandate we have from our ministry, support the Turkish government in this incredible challenge to integrate such a huge amount of Syrian refugees and from other nationalities, of course. So we recognize that Turkey is the country with the hosting the highest number of refugees, and it is extremely important for us to provide this kind of service. So we stay with Turkey, we continue to support Turkey in this regard, and we will in the future be here close to you and close to your effort. Also, when it comes to the cooperation with the Ministry of National Education and ASAM, we are ready to continue our cooperation. We have other fields, for example, social cohesion. It is necessary to strengthen and to support also the General Directorate of Migration Management, DGMM, in implementing activities to strengthen harmonization. It will be also important to create some innovations in the public education centers. And so we already got the request from the ministry to support them in establishing Fab Labs, that means innovative centers with new technologies, with improved, I would say, curricula to respond to the labor demands of the labor market. So we are ready to cooperate with you. It's a pleasure having be part of this endeavor, and we will continue to stay close to you. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best in this very important event to extract all the lessons learned we could learn during this project implementation. I will also give the floor to my colleague Christian Stelling. He wants also to deliver some words and a statement to you, because he was mainly responsible for this component. So I will give him also the opportunity to say some words. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Yes, thank you, Alberto Bey. Merhaba to everyone. Dear Mr. Yusuf Büyük, dear Mr. Mustafa Şahin, dear Mr. İbrahim Vurgun, Kavlak, dear colleagues, dear friends. First of all, let me congratulate really everyone who was involved in this project, and you, I know that very well, put so many effort and work into making this project a real success. Now, successfully implementing such a project, such a complex project actually, is always a very challenging task. However, in this case, the project had even not just a huge number of beneficiaries, more than 1,600 people received our support. And it was not just implemented at one location, but it was mentioned, I think, before, in 18 districts, in 5 provinces of Turkey, in Adıyaman, in Denizli, in Diyarbakır, in Istanbul, and Tekirdağ. So it was a very complex project, and as if the complexity would not have been enough, as you already know, at the height of the implementation, the corona pandemic hit the world, the country of Turkey, and of course, eventually, it of course affected this project. And even more important, corona heavily affected the people involved in the project, namely our Turkish and Syrian beneficiaries, DGLL, from the PECs, from ASAM, and from GIZ. Now, despite of all those challenges, together we were actually able to make this project a huge success, thanks to everybody involved. And the reasons, that is at least my opinion, but I think Alberto mentioned it as well, were basically 2 points. Firstly, the enormous efforts and work input of the project staff, of the people who were actually implementing this project, and secondly, flexibility. Time and again, we actually needed to adapt to a constantly changing environment, curfews, hygiene measures, travel restrictions, and so we adapted. So I want to close my rather brief input by expressing my gratitude to every one of you, to those who put all their work and passion into this project, and to those who time and again showed the flexibility to adapt to these very difficult circumstances. So let me again thank all of you. Çok teşekkür ederiz. Let me also congratulate you for the achieved successes. And last but not least, let me wish you all the best for all our future endeavors and the challenges that lie in front of us. I'm sure we will manage them. Çok teşekkür ederiz.
Alberto Bey'e ve Kristin Bey'e kıymetli konuşmaları ve yaptıkları önemli vurgular için çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Şimdi son olarak konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Milli Eğitim Bakanlığı Hayat Boyu Öğrenme Genel Müdürümüz Sayın Yusuf Büyük'ü takdim etmek istiyorum. Buyurun Sayın Genel Müdürüm.
Alman Uluslararası İşbirliği Kurumu, Sığınmacılar ve Göçmenlerle Dayanışma Derneği'nin saygıdeğer temsilcileri, bakanlığımızın kıymetli çalışanları, değerli katılımcılar. Ben de bu güzel
participants, it is an honor also for me to be among yourselves in this closing event of your project. I would like to convey my best regards to all of you. From the beginning of the project to its end, I would like to give my thanks to all of the parties who were involved. All of the parties have resulted in wonderful successes which will be historic. In the future, I believe we will share these memories with our children, and we will be proud to share these stories with them. Because when we look at global history, and especially the Turkish Islamic era, we see that we don't ask the origin of people. That's the civilization that we are descending from. You may remember from history, in the 1500s, Jews were expelled from Spain. They took refuge in the Ottoman Empire, which is a very important representative of the Turkic Islamic civilization. This is just one example of the migrants in the empire, and they have been able to come to all sorts of positions in government and other institutions. This continued in the Republic era of our country because this is our genetic code. It is a part of our culture. It is a part of our belief. What would we do with these people who were forced to migrate at our borders, which were hungry and under threat for their lives? What would we have done but open our doors? We showed what we stand for, and that's how we opened our doors. Today, we have almost 4 million Syrians in Turkey. Since 2011, for 8-9 years, they have been a guest in our country, and they have been treated with great humanitarian respect. We have not looked at their age, their origin, their gender, their finances. We accepted everybody. But in the meantime, of course, from the globe, we had expected more from our friends abroad. Europeans did accept some migrants, but they selected while they did that. They looked at age, they looked at education, and it was in the press one time, they even looked at their teeth. So that shows how important this project is with another perspective, how wonderful the work that we have done is. Since 2012, I have been dealing with the education of the children of Syrian migrants. As the Deputy Undersecretary, I have been doing all that is possible so that these children would stay included in the education system. In Istanbul, Paris, London, Berlin, Washington, these people create a threat to all of these locations if you don't take care of these children, these people. Because if you don't, terrorist organizations take over them and use them to their own mean end. That's what we told our European friends. This is not a problem for Turkey. This is a problem for the international arena. It is a problem for the entire humanitarian race. As you may remember, there were many European countries who used this as an advertisement leverage. The Swedish police was clapping with a Syrian girl sitting on the pavement, and they used that as an ad. I have 800,000 students in my schools. We have 1.1 million students at primary school level. How am I going to educate that? That's what I'm struggling with, and they're using just one person as an achievement. I share this story everywhere. At that time, there was a meeting I attended internationally, and we had 350,000 students in our system back then, and I said that over there, that we included all of them in our system, and when I said that, and a participant raised a hand, and we had interpretation, simultaneous interpretation, and he said, I think the figures have been mistaken in interpretation. Did he say 350 or 350,000? No, I said, it was 350,000. They said our system would not be able to cope with that. Impossible. How do you do that? They said. I said, this is in our genes. They came from Bulgaria, from northern Iraq, from eastern parts. We've been taking care of these people always. And about these Syrians, about these asylum seekers, no matter what, adult, children, male, female, I am 100% supportive of anything that is done for them. And I would like to salute all the participants who are taking part in these endeavors. And I would like to request from you humbly that you need to continue in different provinces. Let's extend this project. You did a lot for these adults, and you did a lot for our disadvantaged citizens, and you provided them opportunities of employment. That is a great service, greater than anything. You have saved thousands from hunger. So this is so vital. Therefore, please, anybody who is listening to me at the moment from our participants, tonight, when you go home, when you lay your head on the pillow, remember and think about the people that you have touched and changed. And then you can say that you can be content with yourself and sleep well. But it doesn't end there, of course. There are cross-border issues, people who are over the border, who are in tents, which are being flooded in this winter. We are unable to fit that in our conscience. I can't sleep at night because of those. Therefore, I strongly believe that this project has to continue for our country, who is already doing so much for Syrians. We have shouldered such a great burden. For example, in Kilis, the number of migrants is the double of the original population of Kilis. Therefore, our Syrian brothers and sisters, they have been forced to migrate because of domestic issues. They have a lot of challenges that they face, and we are struggling to keep them alive and mend their wounds, and we are trying to support social cohesion. Recently, one of the most important issues in the agenda, both internationally and nationally in Turkey, the issue of cohesion and integration. These people need to be able to learn the language, the culture of the country that they are in, so that they can take part in the community. They also need to develop employment capabilities so that they can take part in the labor market. Public institutions, civil society, and private organizations are doing a lot, and they are getting good results, and our slogan continues. We say, always for everybody. That's the service that we are providing. Syrians under temporary protection and the other foreigners in our country are coming to our public education centers, and they are attending the numerous vocational trainings that we are providing. This is intended to increase their employability, and we are conducting projects that allow for them. And one of those projects is the one that we are closing at the moment. But of course, this was not the only project. There are numerous projects that we have been conducting and continuing to conduct. Our colleagues mentioned the details of the project. I'm not going to go into that, but I would like you to know the Ministry of National Education's Lifelong Learning General Directorate is open to supporting everybody in terms of education, and we are here to do all that we can. This was a project that I liked very much, that I find very successful, and here I would like to end my words. I am very much for extending this project, continuing this project. We need to continue touching lives, and for that, after this message of mine, I'm sure our stakeholders, our partners have now understood the message, and I'm sure that they will do their best to make that happen. Thank you very much. Best regards. Thank you very much, Mr. Director General, for your participation and for this wonderful speech. Of course, Turkey has been doing a lot in this process. The people dimension, person dimension of migration, education, all of these issues that you have touched upon, and lifelong learning and vocational education, these are issues that we are always finding very important as well. And we also hope that this project and similar projects continue so that we can cooperate with yourselves and with our other partners. Everything that you have said is definite. In reality, we have seen it concretely with practice. And thank you once again for everything that you have done. Of course, we've had our speakers, they all underline the PEP program, and especially Alberto mentioned the different projects under the program. And I think this project that we are closing today is one of the biggest projects of the PEP program. So it is an honor, of course, to be able to close such a project with such a success. Mr. Alberto, Mr. Director General, Mr. Department Manager, before we go to the outputs of the project, we would like to share two stories from our project participants in Adıyaman. We have a very short video, then we see the message, and then we continue. Thank you.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. اسمي حميدة سعيد من محافظة حلب. عندي 4 أطفال، متزوجة، عندي 4 أطفال. اشتغلت خياطة وتقويت فيها الحمد لله، تقويت فيها، وبعدين جيت يعني على الحمد لله التوظيف، توظفت وكثير يعني كنت أنا حابة هالشغلة. أنا صراحة لأنه ماني كان عارفانة يعني إنه شلون بدي أشتغل، أنا بدي أعمل بس شلون بدي أعمل، وين بدي أروح، إيش بدي أسوي ما أعرف، بس الحمد لله رب العالمين بفضل إنه هالجمعية تعلمت ورحت واشتغلت الحمد لله وتوظفت. وكثير استفدنا الحمد لله يعني ما في شيء ضايق. أنا صراحة أولي الروضة نقطة مهمة كثير كانت للأطفال. أنا أولي اشتغلت من زمان يعني كان عمر ابني عندي ولد عمره 3 سنين أعيفه بالبيت، هذا ما بينعاف طاول. بما إنه هلا الحمد لله رب العالمين وهلا بالتوظيف كثير ممنونة وكثير مبسوطة، وإن شاء الله يكونوا ممنونين مني كمان المعلمين، وأتمنى يعني إنه أضل بهذا العمل. مثلا أنا أطفالي المدرسة يعني وقفت هلا بسبب الكورونا وهي ما كان عندي يعني دخل كثير ضعيف يعني زوجي اشتغلت الحمد لله استفدت من رواتب مثلا جبنا بلازمة الحمد لله مثلا صاروا يدرسوا الأولاد مثلا يستفادوا من دراستهم التركية مشان ما يقطعوها. الحمد لله أتمنى يعني على طول يكون في عمل للنساء بالذات، النساء كثير محتاجين لعمل يعني كورسات يعني واستفدت كثير الحمد لله.
Merhaba, Tülay Ekici ben. Adıyaman'da yaşıyorum. 35 yaşındayım, 4 çocuk annesiyim. Tam boşandığım bir süreçte kursa başladım. Pandemi sürecinde kapalı olmasına rağmen bize desteklerini eksiltmediler, maaşlarımız yattı. Ve ben hiç dikiş bilmeme rağmen geldiğim iş yerinde makinacı olarak çalışıyorum. Daha sonra paketleme ustası olarak geçtim. İstihdam sürecinde bizi Adıyaman'ın en iyi iş yerine getirdiler. Burada çalıştığım süre içinde kendime geldim. Çünkü çocuklarıma bakmak zorunda olan bir anneyim. Bu projeyi gerçekleştiren herkese çok teşekkür ediyorum. Herkesin emeğine sağlık.
pek çok PEP yararlanıcısı var ve projemizde özellikle kadınların iş piyasasında erişimlerini desteklemiş olmaktan, geçim kaynaklarına erişimleri noktasında desteklemiş olmaktan
help them in their livelihood. So that's another pleasure as a part of this project. So at the first part, we had the representatives of important organizations and projects, and also Mr. Alberto Vega-Exposito from GIZ, and distinguished Minister of National Education representatives, public organizations representatives, and the distinguished representatives of NGOs. On behalf of ASAM, under PEP program, we are now in the closing ceremony of promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and the host communities project. It's a pleasure to have this closing event. It is named PEP project in short. As the coordinator, I would like to share some of our outputs in the implementation phase. This project is supported by Minister of National Education Lifelong Learning Directorate General and Federal Ministry of Development and Economic Cooperation from Germany, and it is implemented by GIZ and ASAM. It's been implemented since 16 June 2019. As project team, together with our partners, we have provided Syrians under temporary protection and vulnerable host communities with sustainable job opportunities, and also we aim to help economic development in general. Simultaneously, we were able to get in touch with the Lifelong Learning Directorate General, GIZ, and also the cooperation between ASAM. We were able to create a model between other stakeholders as well. With regard to those aims, the main components of our project was the labor market analysis, vocational courses and language courses, social cohesion activities, and cooperation with key stakeholders on the local level. And also, an employment incentive was also among our key components. Together with PEP project, we were able to reach Adıyaman, Denizli, Istanbul, and Tekirdağ, 18 public education centers. Thanks to that education, we have also provided support to 43 international protection applicants, Turkish citizens, and a total number of 1,654 beneficiaries. 804 of them were Syrians. We are also very proud that we had a very good gender equality sensitivity with a 70% women beneficiaries in general. So, in our 18 public education centers in 5 provinces, we have provided Turkish language courses in 44 classes, and we also have provided vocational education in 70 modules. Also, we have started our vocational courses back in January 2020. However, due to pandemic, between 16th of March and 29th of June, we had to suspend our trainings. And until 29th of June, we created some videos for our volunteer trainers and beneficiaries. Starting from the beginning of pandemic, we have informed our beneficiaries through SMS to our beneficiaries in Turkish, Arabic, and Persian with regard to COVID-19 and the measures of our ministry. And also, within our consultancy services, we have provided not only project support, but also active support to help people to protect themselves from the pandemic. We had unconditional cash assistance for 3 months to all our beneficiaries. We have provided disinfectants, masks, and face shields, and some hygienic products as well. Thanks to those means, we were able to help our country's biggest need, which is the mask and protective clothing. We produced them together, our volunteers, beneficiaries, and trainers. We have provided language education, vocational courses, occupational safety and health, the working ethics in Turkey, cultural conditions, and we have organized seminars. If we were not able to do that face-to-face, we've done that through our YouTube channel. And also, thanks to our cooperation with İşkur, we have organized vocational club activities, and we registered our beneficiaries to job-seeking platforms. With regard to our local stakeholders, we have explained our project targets, especially to trade and industry chambers, and also the representatives of private sectors. We have informed them about the temporary protection status, the working permits, legal arrangements, and we have organized these information meetings to exchange some opinions. As a result of these activities and meetings, we have created cooperation agreements in 9 Chamber of Industry and Trades in Adıyaman, Denizli, Diyarbakır, Tekirdağ, in the chambers of trade, industry, and also textile organized industrial zone. We would like to thank our distinguished local stakeholders who helped us to improve employment opportunities for our beneficiaries, and we have representatives of them among us. We would like to thank them all. Again, with a sustainability perspective, we have created a report with regard to potential labor market analysis. So we have created a detailed labor market report. And in the last phase of our project, we have also signed employment protocols with 193 we have organized meetings with 193 companies, and we have signed employment protocol with 18 of them in order to provide employment for the successful graduates of our program. And we also count and happy to be able to do that. So we would like to thank the public education centers. We were lucky and fortunate enough to make use of their years of experience. Their support has been most useful in the success of our results. Also, we would like to thank Minister of National Education's General Directorate for Lifelong Learning, and also we are so proud to work in cooperation with GIZ. Our partners have always been constructive, innovative, and they come up with very strategic contributions, and we are so pleased to be able to have that. We would also like to thank the PEP project provincial coordinators, public education centers coordinators, our interpreters, child-friendly field managers, social support experts, project assistants, life skills experts. We would like to thank them for their self-sacrificing efforts. Also, we would like to thank our finance, procurement, consultancy services, monitoring and assessment, also institutional communication, organizational communication members, the HR and project responsibles. Without their effort, we will not be able to have a smooth implementation of our project. Our Ankara office has been most useful in that sense. Therefore, we would like to thank our distinguished general coordinator, Buket Bahar Dıvrak, and also our general coordinator, İbrahim Vurgun Kavlak, for their support on behalf of PEP project. Last but not the least, we would like to thank our colleagues in GIZ and our colleagues in PEP project, Minister of National Education, Lifelong Learning General Directorate, Özlem Erdem and her team. Thank you very much, and let's hope we will be touching the lives of people in future as well. Thank you very much, Gamze Hanım, for this nice summary. How much we have achieved in such a short time. It was a very nice reminder of what we have done so far. Now I would like to give floor to grant agreement responsible Mezra from GIZ. She was most supportive starting from the very beginning of our project. We became a huge team. Yes, we were in separate organizations, but we were together. Floor is yours, Mezra Hanım.
Thank you very much. You summarized it very well, actually, but all has been said mostly. I just would like to thank the Ministry of National Education and ASAM and everybody who is here with us today, and welcome to you all. As I said, many things have been said and shared, and maybe I can say a couple of things that are personal to me about this project. Me, when I started working at the GIZ, I asked for the implementation responsibility of this project. And it's a very large project and seemed to be a difficult position. We were talking about 5 different provinces and 1,600 migrants that we would touch, and that really excited me. Because of the pandemic and some other issues that were beyond our control, certain things were delayed. But nevertheless, we were able to continue. And as you all very well know, the end result, success of these kind of activities all depend on the proper cooperation and communication of the partners. And I think today we are here with a success result and happiness because we were able to do that very well. And now I think that it was such a good decision to take this position in the project at GIZ. During the days that we were at the beginning of the pandemic, we were still able to stand by our participants, our beneficiaries in the project. And I think this is all the result of all of the selfless work that has been done through the ministry, through the association, through our partners at local level. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Mezra Hanım. As you very well underlined, and our speakers also mentioned it in the introduction openings, all institutions have their own expertise and their own foundations and backgrounds. Of course, our ministry was the most important here, but nevertheless, with our good cooperation, I think the success has come out to be so good. I completely agree with you in that regard, and we are thankful to you, to all of the supports. As we said, we were in different provinces in 18 public education centers. And we had a lot of cooperation with our ministries and our local environments. So in these provinces, we also had provincial coordinators. And our coordinators prepared a video for us. And let's see our 5 province coordinators, what they said about the project and how they felt. Let's watch the video and then continue.
PEP project. The fact that Diyarbakır is among the 5 project provinces in Turkey has been a very beneficial experience. I am Şirine Eronat. I serve as Deputy Provincial Director of National Education in Diyarbakır. I'm also Provincial Coordinator of the Promotion of Economic Prospects for Syrians under Temporary Protection and Host Community in Turkey project. The project name is abbreviated as the PEP project. The fact that Diyarbakır is among the 5 project provinces in Turkey has been a very beneficial experience and chance for both our city and community. In scope of the project, our beneficiaries have received not only language and vocational training courses, but also informative seminars on occupational health and safety, work ethics, culture and conditions in Turkey, and work permits required to be obtained for refugees. Activities supporting their social lives with a focus on social cohesion and cultural harmony have been a significant experience for the project. With the project, our beneficiaries have also been provided with various experiences and opportunities in terms of setting up a business in Turkey and engaging in employment. They also gained experience in relation to cultural integration as well as about how different cultures can coexist. In connection with the promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host community in Turkey project that is being supported by GIZ, I would like to express my thanks on behalf of myself and my colleagues to Ministry of National Education Directorate General of Lifelong Learning and to Association for Solidarity with Asylum Seekers and Migrants for their contributions to the project and for providing our province with such an opportunity.
Hello, I am İlhan Koçer. I serve as Tekirdağ Deputy Provincial Director of National Education, responsible for the section of lifelong learning. I am also Provincial Coordinator of the promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host community in Turkey project. We were both happy and excited for such an international project to be implemented in our province for the first time. Through the project, we have provided 50 trainees with chief assistant vocational training in the kitchen, set up with professional equipment at Süleymanpaşa Public Education Center. Likewise, with the workshop organized, we have had the opportunity to offer on-the-job vocational training to 50 trainees on marble and stone cladding. Although our course process was interrupted due to the pandemic, we have managed to successfully complete our training courses and proceed to employment phase despite the unfavorable circumstances. As the end goal of our project, under which we brought together our guests under temporary protection in Turkey and the local individuals in need and made a significant contribution to our community's cultural integration, the employment phase has also been very productive given the available opportunities. We are genuinely happy for the fact that our trainees have been employed at Süleymanpaşa municipality. We are of the opinion that ensuring employment at an important public institution is an indicator of the success of the trainings we provided under the project. Although the term of the employment protocol we undersigned with the municipality came to an end, we were happy to be informed that the decision to continue our trainees' employment was taken. Accordingly, we have not only contributed, albeit partially, to the filling of the employment gap present in our province with properly trained individuals, but also enabled persons in need to find permanent jobs by having them acquire professions. Thus, we have achieved the permanent employment objective of our project. In brief, we are pleased with the contributions the project made to our province. I hope this project will have fruitful results in the upcoming period as well, and I would like to express my thanks to everyone who contributed and supported us throughout the process. Wish you healthy days ahead. My name is Selim Karahanlı. I am Chief of Section of Lifelong Learning in Adıyaman. I am also Provincial Coordinator of the ongoing PEP project implemented on behalf of Directorate General of Lifelong Learning. In scope of the promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host community in Turkey, PEP project, implemented on behalf of the Ministry of National Education, Directorate General of Lifelong Learning, Department of Social Partners and Projects, and German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, by GIZ collaboration with ASAM. 1,600 individuals have been provided with trainings in 5 provinces to improve their vocational and language skills. As part of this project, efforts are also made to ensure that those who were granted vocational training certificates have access to employment opportunities in the provinces of Adıyaman, Denizli, Diyarbakır, Istanbul and Tekirdağ. In line with the needs of members of the community as well as the labor market, equipping individuals with knowledge, skills and practical capabilities that a certain profession requires gains importance with each passing day. Being an important step in this regard, the project not only paves the way for individuals equipped with required knowledge and skills to have a profession, but also trains them for a qualified workforce that will contribute to economic development. In this connection, 3 public education centers located in our province contribute to the project objectives. At Merkez Public Education Center, 75 trainees have been provided with training courses in 3 fields, namely women's clothing modelist assistant, preparing home textile products, and ceramic and unglaze decorator. In addition, in Kahta district, 75 trainees have been provided with training courses in 2 fields, namely sewing child dress for age 12 to 16 and chief assistant. As for Besni district, courses have been offered to 50 trainees. There were 2 courses opened in this district. The first was women's clothing modelist assistant, and the second was preparing home textile products. The courses in question have been completed. As a result of this project, 10% of employment rate, which was the initial target, has been exceeded in our province with the tremendous efforts of our colleagues. And 23 out of 200 trainees have found jobs. The figures I mentioned are an indication that the continuation of this project will undoubtedly contribute to the people of our country on an account of the fact that it focuses on employment as an end result, that it prepares for people for the future and for relevant professions, that it enables integrations of people speaking different languages, and that the number of applicants for this project is quite high. Thank you. With the collaboration between Ministry of National Education, Directorate General of Lifelong Learning, GIZ, and Association for Solidarity with Asylum Seekers and Migrants, training courses were opened at 8 public education centers in scope of the promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host community in Turkey project. These courses are categorized under 2 main objectives. The first objective is to teach Turkish language to our Syrian guests under temporary protection, and the second objective is to offer vocational courses to Turkish citizens in need as well as our Syrian guests under temporary protection to enable them acquire professions. In other words, both our Syrian guests under temporary protection and Turkish citizens applied to be registered in the Turkish language and vocational training courses offered in scope of the project, and they have received trainings at 8 public education centers. Our collaborative efforts in this process have demonstrated that both Syrians under temporary protection and Turkish citizens get along well with each other, that they have gotten to know about one another, and that they could share a life better, where there exists a mutual trust resulting from knowing each other. With the professional skills they acquired, they have been provided with various opportunities to be able to set up their own business and to engage in economic life and to have a career. The stipends paid to trainees in scope of the PEP project on the condition of meeting attendance requirement have resulted in a significant interest in the courses, especially in the ones offered as part of the PEP project. Along with many Turkish citizens, a high number of Syrians under temporary protection, as well as requested to be included in the courses open in scope of the PEP project in particular. Furthermore, it has been quite pleasing and gratifying to witness that there was a high demand on the part of women for such courses, that they did not confine themselves to their homes, actively engaged in social life, and that they have acquired certain professional skills to be able to engage in employment and set up their own business. It is highly beneficial for projects such as the PEP project to continue. I am Yavuz Çağlar, Chief of Section serving at Denizli Provincial Directorate of National Education. I am in charge of Section of Lifelong Learning in scope of the promotion of economic prospect for Syrians under temporary protection and host community in Turkey PEP project implemented on behalf of the Ministry of National Education, Directorate General of Lifelong Learning, Department of Social Partners and Projects, and German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development by GIZ in collaboration with ASAM. 1,600 individuals have been provided with trainings in 5 provinces to improve their vocational and language skills. Works have been undertaken to ensure that trainees granted vocational training certificates under the project have access to employment opportunities in Denizli province. Vocational training courses were offered to 200 beneficiaries at Pamukkale and Merkez Efendi public education centers, and beneficiaries have been provided with employment opportunities upon successfully completed lock stitch mechanic, preparing women's clothing patterns on computer, and chief assistant training courses that were designed in line with the potential and current needs of the labor market in Denizli. We would like to express our sincere thanks for the project's contribution to employment in Denizli and wish the continuation of the project. Thank you.
Herkese tekrar merhaba. İlk koordinatörlerimize bir kez daha teşekkür ediyoruz proje süresince bize verdikleri destek ve bu
once again for all that they have done in the project and the support that they provided. Now, for our last speaker, I would like to give the floor to the PEP project coordinator from the Ministry of National Education's Lifelong Learning General Directorate. We worked very closely with her throughout the project, therefore she's a dear friend now as well, Özlem. And through her, we would like to once again thank everybody in the ministry for all the support that they have been providing. Thank you very much. And Özlem, you have the floor. Could you unmute yourself? I think now you can hear me. Yes, we can. Please. Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Ministry of National Education, Lifelong Learning General Directorate, Mr. Yusuf Büyük, and the R&D Project Department Manager, Mustafa Şahin, the GIZ representatives, Mr. Alberto, and all of the public institutions, representatives, international organization representatives, distinguished participants. We are here together today once again for the closing event of the project for promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host communities. As you know, this has been a project that has been implemented in partnership with the Ministry of National Education, GIZ, and ASAM. And it was a 19-month project. We worked in 8 provinces with 18 public education centers, and we have been able to access more than 800 Syrians under temporary protection and more than 800 Turkish citizens from vulnerable groups, and we have provided them with language and vocational trainings. Our beneficiaries have been satisfied with all our activities. That is something that I would like to express. We have also been able to provide our beneficiaries with promotional supportive payments that is equal to half of the minimum wage. As we know, the pandemic took us all by surprise, and it took a toll on the project as well. But nevertheless, we were able to continue, and we provided 3 months of unconditional pay to our beneficiaries at the beginning of the pandemic. We sent them SMS information about the issues, and we were able to use the PEP consultancy hotline for anything that they would need for emergencies and other issues. We were able to create the awareness among them and the information that was needed for them. In the 18 public education centers, our beneficiaries, participants, were able to interact, and that actually created a cultural aspect to our project as well. We worked on work ethics, health, safety, occupational rehabilitation, and interview techniques, entrepreneurship, which were in cooperation with COSGEP in the issue, and we were able to conduct 144 seminars. during the implementation, we were able to do a labor market analysis concerning the needs at local level, and from there, we were able to prepare a local labor market needs report. In our project provinces, we were able to create protocols with commerce and industry chambers, artisan chambers, industry organized zones. With 9 of them, we signed these protocols, and that was very satisfactory for us. With the Turkish Employment Agency, we were able to record our beneficiaries to the registry database, which is a big step for us. With the private companies, we were able to come together and provided 3-month employment to our beneficiaries. After the 3 months, which we were supporting with half of minimum wage, we know that our beneficiaries are now continuing their work, which is even more satisfactory for us, because these people, when they get employment, they are able to provide for themselves, and that is a big step in their life. And it is a pleasure for us to see that we have been able to touch the lives of these people, and that is a great pleasure for the PEP project. We have a booklet of success stories of PEP projects, and we have detailed information there. I would like to take this chance to thank everybody who was involved in the process, from the partners, from the managers, to the coordinators, to the implementers, to our interpreters, to our project assistants. Everybody contributed significantly, and our ministry was always there for us. The local representation of our public institutions were always there for us. We were happy to work with everybody, Mezra and her team, and ASAM, Gamze and her team, the chambers of commerce and industry at local level, and our private companies. They all deserve our gratitude, and we are thankful to them. We hope that we will be able to come together once again in more projects. Thank you very much once again. Thank you very much, Özlem, to this final summary speech, which actually rounded up everything for today. And I think now I can close the meeting with our project animation film. As this project was the one and largest project of the PEP program, we are continuing our endeavor in the PEP program. That will never end. At local level, the development aspect, these trainings, that creation of the foundation, overcoming challenges for our foreigner guests, our social activities, cohesion activities, creating children-friendly areas, giving more to our women participants, looking at the labor market, doing analysis, working with our local chambers and the Turkish Employment Agency, creating promotional material. I think these have all been very detailed work, and they have all served to each other, and at the end they created a big successful result. Yes, the pandemic did take a toll on us. We did have challenges. For 3 months we had to stop our events and trainings, but at the end we were able to come up with solutions to all our challenges. Therefore, I would also like to thank everybody for all that they have done, for all their work and their support. we have been talking among ourselves. We are all looking forward to the second phase of the PEP projects, and thank you to our team that made this event possible as well. Hope to see you once again in another event, maybe at an opening of another project. And I'm leaving you now with the PEP project animation film. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the Ministry of National Education Directorate, General of Lifelong Learning Department of R&D and Projects, and German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, the promotion of economic prospects for Syrians under temporary protection and host community in Turkey project started being implemented by GIZ in collaboration with Association for Solidarity with Asylum Seekers and Migrants, ASAM, in 2019 in 18 public education centers located in 5 provinces. Vocational and language trainings were provided to 1,600 individuals, of whom 800 are Turkish citizens and 800 are Syrians under temporary protection, with 10% of the beneficiaries being international protection applicants or status holders, and at least 30% of the beneficiaries being women. In order to contribute to sustainable development, collaboration was developed by public institutions and organizations, local authorities and private sector representatives for the 10% employment of the beneficiaries. Beneficiaries were supported with seminars and social cohesion activities to strengthen their potential to access employment opportunities, together with provincial coordinators who helped develop the project in the 5 provinces. PEC coordinators and vocational trainers working at the public education centers, livelihood officers, project assistants, social support experts, child-friendly space officers and interpreters in charge. The outreach team expedited works to implement the project activities. In scope of the Promotion of Economic Prospects project, over 70 vocational training modules were implemented. 518 beneficiaries attended the Turkish language training courses, while 1,654 beneficiaries attended the vocational training courses. Those who took and passed the final exam gained the right to receive their certificates issued by the Ministry of National Education Directorate, General of Lifelong Learning. Trainings were suspended for a certain period with the measures taken nationwide against the COVID-19 outbreak. During this period, unconditional financial support was provided by GIZ. Counseling was offered to each beneficiary on what they must do in case of experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. With the devoted participation of volunteering beneficiaries and vocational trainers, contribution was made to the production of masks and overalls, which are the most needed items in the country over the course of the pandemic. While the courses began resuming, hygiene trainings were organized for the beneficiaries. So far, a total of 211 social cohesion activities and 144 seminars were organized. In addition, speaking clubs were held during the language trainings to improve the beneficiaries' oral expression skills. Flowers were planted, songs were sung. Following the trainings, the short-term employment of companies were supported for the beneficiaries who were employed with different occupations. In that regard, 3-month employment incentives were provided to the employers. The public education centers met with the provincial directorates of the Turkish Employment Agency. Upon completing their trainings, the beneficiaries, whose CVs were registered in the Turkish Employment Agency's database, were given information about the employment process. As a result of the meetings held with the Chambers of Commerce, Industry, and Merchants and Craftsmen, Cooperation protocols were signed, and owing to these protocols, there are many project beneficiaries who are currently employed and at work right now. The Promotion of Economic Prospects project also received media coverage with its various activities, agenda, program, and reached a large audience. The mobilization for the production of masks and overalls performed at the public education centers on a voluntary basis received news coverage on TRT News.
Ülke, Türkiye ve şimdi bir projeyi gündemimize aldık. Ve projenin iki uygulayıcısı, birlikte çalışan iki uygulayıcısı, ancak bir de Almanya'dan da bir ortak var.